Hello, everyone, and welcome to yet another session on MarTech Day. In the previous sessions, we have discussed a lot about, how marketeers are using MarTech and, how they are leveraging stacks. Today, we are going to talk about, how AI integration happens in the MarTech stack and what's next for the marketeers. So now I have, my esteemed guest, Mr. Preetam Jena, Chief Marketing Officer and Head of eCommerce FixDerma with us. Preetam, thank you very much for joining.
Thanks a lot for inviting us. It's a pleasure having you.
Thank you. Thank you. My next guest for the day is Mr. Shawn Chandy, Chief Marketing Officer, Paragon Footwear. Shawn, thank you very much for taking out time today and joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you. With that, I open the discussion. So, let me, put a question to, both of you. How are you guys using, AI as marketers? How AI has become much more relevant to you as a marketer? Shawn, let's begin with you first.
We use AI mostly in creating content, interesting content. Um, since we don't do a lot of performance ads and campaigns, the way we use AI is that to create a variety of content which is used on social media as well as other digital platforms. See, basically, we launch about 20 to 30 designs per month. So that's a huge number of designs. And obviously, you can imagine that if we have to, in the past, we would do physical shoots for these various designs, and that used to be time consuming as well as expensive. Now with AI, we are able to create some really interesting content um, with the shoes, with the different types of footwear that we launch in interesting backgrounds, interesting using a lot of creativity, which can come very easily and cost effectively through AI.
Let's hear it from Preetam. Preetam, how is AI enabling you, at FixDerma in terms of your product shoots, in terms of, driving much more automation within your processes? How is it going?
So for us, Devesh, because we are at the cutting edge of marketing, so to say, there's so many things that are happening on the skincare and the beauty segment. There is just world is my oyster at this point of time when it comes to AI and the use cases around it. Just to drop in a few things, essentially, I'll just give you a quick background of how our sales are structured. So essentially, we are in a 30-30-30 mix between
Correct.
e-commerce sales and offline sales and consultative sales, which is essentially going to dermats and collecting selling in a consultative manner, right? So all of these are like one third of the business totally, apart from the export segment. Now, because we are pretty strong in each of these wings, for us, AI becomes a de facto setup across different parameters. Now, I'll talk about it in a pillar-wise setup, wherein I'll touch base on certain use cases that we are deploying at this point of time. Right. The first aspect is in terms of content. What
Hmm.
kind of content are we creating using AI? Because AI is something that is very, very important for us because it's a face-to-face, a one-on-one kind of a conversation that we need to build intently with everyone. Everyone's skin is totally different from the other person, but then they are more equal than they are different. Okay, so essentially what happens is you are able to build cohorts. So what happens is what we have deployed is what we call a face analysis software. Now, what it does is essentially it uses camera and it takes a picture of your structure of the face, very, very intent-led structure, and then it is able to define what exactly are your issues or right now and in future what all you can do. So there is an entire DNA of your face that comes through, which then helps a doctor or to even self-diagnose anything that you want to do. So this becomes a cornerstone for a lot of conversation that we are able to build with the customers. Then obviously it then correlates into our CRM setup, wherein we are talking about two different setups. One is essentially from a call center angle, and one wherein we use our MarTech stack in terms of the conversation that we are having based on different kinds of cohorts task made, right? Some will be a dry skin cohort, some will be in the acne cohort, and things like that. So essentially, we need to hit them with the right content at the right time. Now, when it comes to campaigns, this is where the biggest use case that is there for AI for us, because what happens is AI is very important at this point of time in terms of doing campaigns on the go, on the money right away. Because you
Hmm.
cannot depend on one single person or any single agency to try to change your campaigns on the go, right? Which becomes a reality in today's age with different machine learned algorithms that are there. They're able to change bids, change budgets, use new campaigns, create new campaigns accordingly. That's something that we deploy big time. And of course, the entire automation journey in terms of using different user cohorts and activating them at different point of time, that becomes one of the biggest game that we are playing at as of now. So I would say we are like 60-70% at the on it right now. In due course of time, we would want to create more content which is
Correct.
using the entire Gen AI as a platform. That's something that we haven't done much in, but that's something that is an evolving category as of now.
I want to take this conversation a little ahead with you, Preetam. How are you integrating AI in the entire MarTech stack? Okay. And, kind of automating the processes.
Right. So let me just give you like one example that we have deployed, which will give you a fair sense of how we are using the stack that we have built over a period of time. So
Hmm.
essentially, this was a launch of one of our products, which is a cult product, so to say, which has seen a lot of TV background behind it. Boman Irani is the ambassador for that, and we have
Yeah.
that has been our single biggest SKU in a long time, right? The product is actually Nigrifix. We have
Okay.
a patent for that product as well. Now, what
Okay.
we wanted to build was, because the product in itself had already a very vocal base behind it, we wanted to use the brand itself and extend this category to build into a multi fold kind of a revenue generator for us. So because we are already sitting on a database of consumers who have bought our products for the last 2 3 4 years almost, we were able to build a first thing first, we are able to mine that data. Second is build different cohorts of that data, because we are already sitting on their user behavior as well. So on the second level, we are able to use that data to create different cohorts of that. So for example, if I have to build Nigrifix consumers who are like acne prone, or consumers who are boys using Nigrifix, and different kinds of cohorts we were able to build. Now these cohorts were then we were able to automate within Facebook and Google and create campaigns around that. Now those campaigns then again were automated in terms of bid management as well. So we are actually creating this entire journey for them, which actually comes up from X to Y, and saving money at every single point. Because this is an acquired customer, retaining the acquired customer becomes like 1/10 of the cost of acquiring a new user altogether. For us,
Hmm.
it became almost zero cost for us. So this saves a lot of money, while we have deployed the entire stack deploying a certain amount of money, but we are able to get it back in terms of the savings that we are making at every campaign perspective.
Correct, correct. Sean, does this work? Does this similar idea of, retaining the customers, acquiring the new customers and, engaging with them, across your online channels, with the help of MarTech Stack works in your category also?
See, the principles are the same, and it works in a similar fashion. Although we are in the fashion retail space, so we have chatbots. So we use chatbots to communicate with our trade partners, create communication which is specific for their geography, and because the what I've seen in my experience, whether it's footwear or even in my previous role in the fashion category, like apparel and textiles, uh, you know WhatsApp is the kind of the peak of the technology that general trade is comfortable with. In
Yeah,
uh, trying to do too many things, too, uh, in terms of using a lot of technology, really doesn't help unless those guys are in the position to receive it and, take advantage of it. So we obviously use that, WhatsApp, chatbots, and, kind of that has increased our interaction a lot with the trade, general trade. They also find it convenient because obviously so we have about 80 to 90,000 registered retailers, and actually we could
correct.
probably reach to about a lakh and a half plus retailers.
Hmm.
So it's not possible for our sales teams and
True
to
that.
actually reach out to all these guys. So chatbots has made it easier for us to connect with them, interact with them, engage with them, hear their issues, and help solve those problems.
Coming back to you, Preetam, how do you see the future of, MarTech and, AI integration into the MarTech stacks in your category?
See, for as I said in the beginning, right? So the biggest aspect of skincare is every skin is different from each
Right.
other, but again, they are very similar. Then they are different,
Hmm.
right? So this statement holds true because there is always a cohort that builds up in the larger context, but those cohort, the bigger those cohorts are, the more random, the more general the data becomes, right? So we
Right.
need to build bigger number of cohorts as and when that is possible, and that is only possible when artificial intelligence is there in this place, right? So which is where I think our market is going in, and AI will play a big role in terms of creating very very small cohorts of these similar audiences that are there, and go deeper into that so that the conversation becomes more intent driven and becomes more personalized in that sense.
We look forward to, having, more integrations and how you can expand the usage of AI and, make the experience of customer even better. Thank you very much, Preetham, and thank you very much, Sean, for joining today and, sharing your insights on the MarTech Day with our audiences. It has been lovely having you with us and, hearing your insights on, how you have, how you at your brands have been, leveraging AI and integrating it in the MarTech stacks, to expand and create a seamless and better customer experience. Thank you very much for sharing your insights.
Thanks a lot
Thanks,
for
thanks,
inviting us.
Devesh. Thanks, Pati. Yeah, lovely to be here.